First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Welcome to WUFT News First at 5. I'm Megh Porterfield.
And I'm Emely Zuluaga. Thanks for joining us.
Well, with temperatures in the 90s, part of our viewing area saw a heat advisory today.
We go straight to UF forecaster Julia Haley to find out what to expect this weekend.
Yes, above average temperatures here in Gainesville, sitting in the mid 90s, 94 Gainesville, 96 Ocala, 94 Bronson, 95 Stark, just a little bit cooler at 88 Fort St. Augustine, but feeling just a little bit warmer all around north central Florida. 96 here in Gainesville, feeling like 100 in Ocala, heat indices at 101 Cedar Key, 102 Live Oak, 108 Jacksonville, and even 109 for Perry. So very much a hot day outside. If you are walking outside, you're probably seeing the majority of that heat. But here outside of our studio, beautiful blue skies. 94 feels like 99 degrees, almost 100. So a very warm day. But we are cooling down a little bit later tonight, starting in the mid 90s and dropping into the mid 70s. Those clouds staying in the sky overall. Not much of a chance for rain tonight, so looking for a sunny evening and a clear night. Back to you.
Thanks, Julia. Well, gunfire broke out at a church potluck dinner in a Birmingham suburb.
2 people were killed and a 3rd person injured last night. We get the latest from NBC's Sam Brock.
The Vestavia Hills Police Department laid out a very quick update, less than 10 minutes, of what happened last night at a church in this community, only about 10 minutes from downtown Birmingham, where we learned that 3 people were shot inside of a potluck dinner at the church, that the shooter was actually a 71-year-old man who, according to police, was an occasional attendee of church services. Police here said that he pulled out a concealed handgun in the middle of the meeting and just started firing. It was actually another parishioner or attendee there who subdued him while police were able to arrive, not just Vestavia Hills, but mutual aid from nearby police agencies as well. And then within a matter of minutes upon arrival, they were able to get the suspect under control. He has been apprehended, but not before he killed an 84-year-old man on site, as well as a 75-year-old woman who died from her injuries at the hospital. Additionally, there is another 84-year-old woman who is recovering right now from injuries at the hospital. It's not clear what exactly her status is. We did ask whether or not this was someone who was known to law enforcement. Police were not willing to answer that question. We also asked if he had obtained his firearm legally. They also declined to answer that question before they walked out the door. That's the very latest here in Vestavia Hills. Sam Brock, NBC News. Back to you.
One update, we have late word that the 84-year-old at the hospital died. So 3 dead and no word yet on any possible motive.
Well, newly released video shows the rescue of 11 people after a boat capsized off Longboat Key in the Tampa area. The boat sunk just east of a spot known as Beer Can Island. People nearby witnessed the accident and were able to arrive immediately and begin lifting some of the victims out of the water and into their boat. The Sheriff's Marine Unit arrived shortly after to rescue the last 2 victims still hanging on to the capsized boat. One victim was experiencing chest pains and shortness of breath and was transferred to a local hospital. The rest were taken back to the Apollo Beach Marina. A Florida Highway Patrol trooper hailed as a hero is now back on the job. Trooper Tony Shuck has now recovered from injuries suffered when she used her vehicle to stop a drunk driver barreling towards a bridge full of runners. Reporter Brittany Muller has this update.
After 3 months,
it was my job to do. I would do it over again.
Trooper Tony Shuck is back doing what she loves.
The itch was there even after the crash. You know, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to come back. But in my heart, you know, I knew I was going to fight to get back.
Trooper Shuck says it's been a bumpy road since she was nearly crashed head on, using her patrol vehicle as a barricade. Her quick thinking prevented a drunk driver from reaching nearly 7,000 racers who were participating in the Skyway 10K.
I'm glad it was me. I'm glad that nobody else got hurt. And, you know, it's my job. And I felt I did what I had to do.
Authorities say 52-year-old Kristen Watts was behind the wheel of the car that hit Trooper Shuck. The arrest report shows Watts had a blood alcohol concentration 3 times over the legal limit. Last week, Watts was deemed incompetent to stand trial.
I'm glad that it's an inpatient process that she's going to go through where she's going to get the help that she needs.
Trooper Shuck says she's thankful for the outpour of support locally, statewide, nationally, and even globally.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is defending the state Surgeon General for not recommended COVID vaccine for healthy young children. The CDC has now approved Moderna and Pfizer mini doses for children under 5, but Florida did not pre-order this time.
But the state of Florida has had the recommendation from 5 and up for a while. We were the first state to do that. And now from the 6 month to 5, the state's recommendation holds. It's a recommendation against doing it. That's different than saying you can't. You are free to choose. That's not an issue.
Florida parents who want their children vaccinated will still be able to schedule a shot from pharmacies like CVS, which are partnering with the federal government on vaccine distribution.
Despite a felony conviction for Corrine Brown, a Gainesville bus facility continues to honor the former Congresswoman. As WUFT's Richard Mason explains, some city leaders feel she earned it long before the charity scandal surfaced.
The Corrine Brown Transit Facility in Gainesville has become a topic of controversy. The transit headquarters is named after former Congresswoman Corrine Brown, but now that name is connected to a criminal past.
Corrine, do you have any final last words before going in for your sentencing?
The former House representative was charged with using more than $830,000 from her charity for personal use. In 2017, she was convicted of fraud, conspiracy, and tax-related charges. Granted a chance for a new trial last month, Brown instead pled guilty to 1 count of tax fraud. Back in 2020, the RTS board recommended the city remove her name, but commissioners have been reluctant to change the name, saying Brown helped secure RTS funding.
I feel like this doesn't address concerns of people who ride the bus, doesn't address concerns of people who work at RTS. I know that every now and then it comes back up.
Despite many wanting to change the name of this facility due to Brown's conviction, city leaders still have yet to change the name.
Some Gainesville leaders feel Brown's name should remain because of her contributions. Others feel that buildings should only be named after people who are deceased.
Buildings should be only commemorated to those who've who already been deceased and have made a meaningful contribution on the society that we're surrounded in.
With last month's plea bargain, the debate is renewed and shows no sign of ending. Richard Mason, WUFT News.
Well, taking the bus to school is about as routine as it gets.
Unless your parents decide to jazz things up. We'll show you how 2 dads decided to send everyone off with a good laugh.
You're watching WUFT TV News.
To celebrate the end of the school year, we have a story of 2 Maryland dads who upped their game this year when it came to dropping kids off at the bus stop.
These 2 dads made a name for themselves as bus stop pops. Reporter Jennifer Franciotti shows us how they did it.
The last day of school is always exciting, but for these Jacksonville elementary students, the bus stop has been fun all year thanks to 2 dads who call themselves
Bus Stop Pops. We're just 2 dads with a little bit too much time that want to make our kids laugh.
And they do it by surprising the kids, wearing different costumes each week. Adam Clement and Nick Jones met when their girls started kindergarten this year, and a friendship and an idea was born.
Our bus actually picks our kids up, goes down the street and passes us back by, so we normally sit there and wait to wave.
We just were joking around one day when they were coming back and saying, hey, wouldn't it be ridiculous if we were in some sort of silly costume for the kids?
And so it began. Each week, a different theme.
We did upside down handstands, we've done gorillas.
The Tyrannosaurus chasing the archaeologist, that was probably one of my favorites. That and the elf on the shelf.
And the water balloon thing with the pie in the face. I like the pie part the best.
Are they crazy?
Yes.
I think it's super cool. We didn't know what to think at first, but I think it's turned into something really special for the kids.
We never know what they're going to come up with, but you know, every week they always end up topping the last, so it's pretty cool to see.
Boarding the bus for the last time, the kids head to the cul-de-sac to turn around as the bus stop pops prepare their final surprise for the end of the school year. Great job, guys. Now only 11 more years to go.
It's not to the point where we're embarrassing our kids yet, but you know, it's going to be more fun once we start.
At one school in Connecticut, it took 400 fake mustaches to celebrate the career of their favorite janitor. Everyone lined the halls to say goodbye to 66-year-old Angelo Guido. They waved Italian flags and paid tribute to his signature mustache. Angelo says the work has been a perfect fit since he likes kids and loves to clean. Now, after being on the job for 40 years, he's retiring to spend more time with his family.
Father's Day is Sunday, Meg, and this heat might impact outdoor plans.
My dad will probably stay inside, watch golf, crank up the AC, you know.
Well, we're currently tracking those heat indices across north central Florida, reaching even into the hundreds. And are we expecting to cool down by Father's Day? I'm Julia Haley with your full forecast in a few minutes.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Currently tracking temperatures all across north central Florida, sitting at 94 here in Gainesville, 96 Ocala, 95 the Villages, 93 Palatka, east of I-95, 88 St. Augustine, 87 Daytona, feeling a little bit warmer for today. Our heat indices show 97 for Gainesville, 102 Ocala and Crystal River, 101 Cedar Key, 108 Perry, and 105 for Jacksonville. So once again, a very warm and hot day outside. Outside of our studio, though, seeing those lovely blue skies, 94 degrees, feels like 101 degrees outside. So very much a hot day. Currently sitting at 96 degrees, cooling down into the 70s, the mid 70s. That chance for clouds staying throughout the night as well, but luckily no rain. And for this weekend, we are warming up, meaning we are seeing some warmer temperatures than we normally do for this time of year. 97 will be the high for Saturday in the afternoon. See that chance for showers in the evening. And for Sunday, Father's Day, expect that high to be around 92 degrees. So cooling down because of a cold front. And for Father's Day, expecting that chance for rain in the afternoon and evening as well. And of course, that cold front is starting to make its way on Friday and into Saturday, sitting in north central Florida around Saturday afternoon. See all of those cells make their way toward our area and exit by Saturday evening, giving us some just cooler temperatures for this time of year. But sunny skies for Monday and Tuesday, thankfully, seeing above average temperatures as this high pressure system moves clockwise toward our area. Those above average temperatures rising even into the mid 90s and the upper 90s by the end of next week. So for this week in Gainesville, expect those highs in the upper 90s for Saturday, those afternoon showers for the weekend, and sunny for Monday and Tuesday. The rest of this week, expect those sunny skies after that cold front around Father's Day, and rising into the upper 90s by the end of next week. Those lows sitting in the low 70s. Back to you.
Thanks, Julia. Microsoft has revealed the games it expects to release in the next 12 months. WUFT Jacob Sedesse shows us the highlights in this week's Tech Tomorrow.
Welcome to a special episode of WUFT's Tech Tomorrow. I'm your host, Jacob Sedesse. Today, I'm giving you the highlights of Sunday's Xbox Bethesda Games Showcase hosted by Microsoft. The big reveal of the day was the first gameplay of Starfield. This highly anticipated game marks the first new franchise by the beloved Bethesda Game Studios in more than 25 years.
According to the scanners, the abandoned research facility is in this direction.
At the showcase, the game's director, the legendary Todd Howard, showed off many of the game's mechanics, including shipbuilding, flight, and combat. However, the most stunning revelation was that the game will include over 1,000 fully explorable planets. 1,000! I really can't wait to get lost in that universe. The game is currently expected for release in 2023 for Xbox Series X and S as well as Windows PC. Arguably, the biggest announcement from Xbox this week actually came out before the big event. Going forward, you may not even need an Xbox to play games like Starfield. Microsoft announced in a press release it is integrating its Xbox cloud gaming service into Samsung smart TVs by the end of June. This will allow anyone with a Game Pass Ultimate subscription to stream games in the catalog over the internet directly to their TV. If you're just trying out video games or maybe want to entertain the kids coming over to visit, this will be an easy and affordable way to quickly get access to a wide variety of games. Me? I think I'll be sticking with my own Xbox. For WUFT's Tech Tomorrow, I'm Jacob Sedesse. See you next time.
Arts and entertainment are up next.
We'll tell you about a new movie for kids, and we'll bring you the story behind a new art exhibit you can see in Gainesville. Stay with us.
You're watching WUFT TV News.
The city of Gainesville has purchased a large collection of art. WUFT's Richard Mason explains why this purchase is important for the history of the city.
The city of Gainesville has purchased a large collection of art. Painter Aileen Harris has created art for over 4 decades. Now, over 200 pieces hang in the historic Thomas Center in Gainesville. The pieces became available before the start of the pandemic. According to management at the center, they received a phone call with interest in selling the pieces to the city.
The 200 pieces that are on display formally in our galleries will be part of the city's permanent collection. But as I said, there are 200 more pieces, and we are making those pieces available for purchase.
A lot of her art originated from her kitchen table, which was recreated in the center. Many pieces touch on themes of biblical narratives, Florida landscapes, animals, and much more.
Creating art touching on the stories of Adam and Eve to the tale of Moses, like the one behind me. Aileen Harris has become a staple and prominent artist in the city of Gainesville, and now local residents will be able to own a piece of her art.
I didn't feel 100% confident that we should go forward without all of the due process and reviewing and advisory boards, but it was a make the decision today kind of need.
Harris continues to paint, and she is likely proud that the community will be able to connect with her art. Richard Mason, WUFT News.
According to Etling, the city paid $7,500 for all the artwork. Guests can now visit the Thomas Center to see the paintings in person.
If you love the Toy Story movies, Pixar has another installment hitting theaters this weekend. We get that news and much more from our entertainment anchor, Ariana Psarakos.
Hi, I'm Ariana Psarakos, and this entertainment time with me, Ariana. Summer 2022 is in full effect as new music and new movies are being released. Beyoncé is finally ending her 6-year music hiatus and will be releasing her Renaissance album July 29. Now, if you know Queen Bee, you know this is pressure for other artists. Certified Lover Boy Drake gave us a surprise album last night called Honestly, Nevermind. This is the 7th studio album released by the Canadian native. Do blondes have more fun? I guess we'll find out. Netflix's new blonde biopic is giving us the behind the scenes on the original blonde bombshell, Marilyn Monroe.
She's coming. She's almost here.
And now for some fun, Lightyear is the newest Pixar movie. Chris Evans is going to infinity and beyond voicing Buzz.
The Buzz Lightyear toy, and all his friends knew who it was, and all of his friends were so excited to have it. What was the movie in Andy's world that they saw to make Buzz Lightyear such an icon?
Lightyear is available in movie theaters starting today. I'm Ariana Psarakos, and that's up today's dose of entertainment news. Hope to see you next time.
You know, I can't remember the last time I saw a Toy Story movie. Do you guys have any plans to see Lightyear this weekend?
Honestly, I'll watch anything with Chris Evans, but what about you, Julia?
Well, I think it's the perfect weekend to sit inside and watch a movie as those highs continue to rise. For this evening, expect those temperatures to stay in the mid-90s, but dropping down into the upper and mid-70s with those clear skies. For Sunday, expect those highs in the upper 90s. And again, for Father's Day, cooling down just a little bit because of that cold front on Saturday in the lower 90s. And for the rest of your week, staying sunny throughout Monday onward with those highs rising into the upper 90s and those lows in the lower 70s. Back to you.
Thanks, Julia. BBC World News is next, and the PBS News Hour is coming up at 7.
But remember, your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org. Have a good night.